Oh, good morning and welcome to the preview for Sha Tin tomorrow. Uh, yeah, it's a strange card. There's two races ruled out with unraced. The TT jackpot's out of play for us with unraced in one of the legs. It's a meeting that, in my opinion, looks a little bit devoid of any great depth. There's some good quality gallopers in the last five races, and they look to have the wood on the field. I don't know whether there's a lot of value here. I've spent about 4 or 5 hours going through them. At this stage, my gut feeling is that it looks like a pass meeting. There's two big jackpots next Wednesday on the all-weather track midweek at Sha Tin. That may throw up some better opportunities than this. But having said that, I'll have another look at them this evening and go through the markets and see whether there might be something there at value. As I said, there's a couple towards the end of the day that look like they'll probably win, but they might be a bit on the shortish side. We go to race one, very small field. Don't see this very often. 8 runners. Turbo Jewelry, this is its race. He's sent it around at the Valley. That's not its go. This is its track, and ideal distance for it, a mile. It looks the one to beat. Blossom Darley, now they gave this a hit out, and now bringing it back to the right track. I think it looks the danger with 50 kilos. Of the rest, probably Mega Champion and Follow the Wind. It's a race that doesn't have a great deal of depth. I think Turbo Jewelry probably going to start pretty short, and should win this. If it can't win this, it's going to be battling. Finished up 1 on top from 5, 3 and 6, but it's a non-betting race with only 8 runners. Race 2, unraced, so we're out of that. Race 3, excuse me, typical 1800 metre race for these type of horses. We see them running around all the time, same ones. Bamboo Dance, nice run first up. I mean, it's a bit of a gangster. This one gets back all the time, finds trouble and always running home. Barrier 11, he's going to have to slot it in somewhere. But it's got a chance in a race like this. Bullish Power's drawn bad, but he'll press on and try and get to the front. I think he might be battling with Namjong Turbo there, but he could get up outside the lead. I think it's got a chance. Namjong Turbo, this is the improver. Was a bit unlucky at its first run back. Was there until about the 100 and then gave it away, but it did a power work early. From barrier 1, this should just ping out and take the rail. If they leave it alone, it's going to be hard to run down. Dark Secret, yeah, not sure about this horse. I think it's probably better at Happy Valley rather than here, but it's got some chance. Kenworth Kid, we went for this first up off the back of some really good track work, and went like a dromedary. Dropped it out last, couldn't keep up early. This is a little bit more suitable, but you do take some real chances with a horse like this. 1 win from 21 starts. It's not much good, but you know, from barrier 14, it's got to be a big price in a race like this. And Humongous killed him first up. It's never put 2 together in its life, so it's hard to imagine it. But it's a typical sort of class 4, class 5 for battlers. Finished up 2 on top from 7, 4, 1, 9, 6. Race 4 unraced, so we pass there. We go to race 5. Not a lot of chances in this race, not a lot of winning chances. Winning Boy was good first up. His track work's been solid since. It'll go close in a race like this. Dragon Glory ran on very strongly first up. Did a nice piece of work yesterday, closing off its 422. It's cherry ripe for a race like this. And the interesting one is Lucky Bonus. Now, this found all sorts of trouble last start and got beaten by just on a length. I think if it, excuse me, if it had got through without all that interference, it probably would have won. Douglas White goes on it. It's almost guaranteed he's going to start favourite. but it's going to be hard to beat. Ambitious Glory's been working okay. Barrier 13, absolutely no favours for it. Same with Junju, barrier 14. It's going to be battling from out there. And Young Warrior, yeah, it's got some chance. It got held up last start. Finished up 5 on top from 2 and 6. Chances to 1, 3 and 14. We go to race 6. This is probably where some of the shorter price ones look like they've got the wood on the field. Jack's Gem put them away pretty easy last start. This is no harder. And from barrier 9 there, he's probably going to have to go. He went forward last time, but I think the race is better when it's with a sit. So I think this will probably slot in midfield somewhere. Should be too good for these. It's got a bit of upside going forward. Really the best, it's drawn the right alley now. If it jumps and can get to the front, it's got a chance. Now Floral Man, this is an interesting one. Nice piece of track work. The other morning running 22. It's improved since the first up run. Second up last season, got beaten an eyebrow in a race very similar to this. Barrier 11, no great favours, but with a bit of speed in this race, it should slot in. Could be one that's a knockout blow to the favourite. Of the rest, Thanksgiving's always around the place. Super Horse has trialled well on the all-weather track, so it could be a chance. And Surrounded, yeah, take a risk with it, but it'll get back to last and it'll be closing off nicely. Jack, I think number 12, Jack's Gem, looks the obvious one and very, very hard to beat. Chances to 7, Floral Man, 13 really the best, 6 Super Horse, 3 Thanksgiving, and 10 Surrounded. Race 7, Sudden Thunder. It was a big run first up. Barrier 1 should slot straight onto the speed somewhere, probably 2 or 3 back. It's going to be very, very hard to beat. Teton's riding terrific at the moment, so got a lot of pluses on it, this horse. Plentiful, finally won a race. Barrier 3, it's going to be up on the speed. It's got a chance. Beauty Journey went really bad first up after a really good trial. Track work since has been good. Probably from barrier 5, I can see this going to the front. If they leave it alone, it can run in the money. Of the rest, Exciting Dreams trialled well on the all-weather track. This is one of these sort of horses that gets back and finds a lot of trouble. Did it all last season. Probably should have won 2 or 3 races by now. But it keeps finding a way to get itself beat. It's always a risk. Of the rest, there's quite a few that we've black booked here from previous runs. Macro, probably wait for Happy Valley for it, and Barrier 13, absolutely no favours. Smart Balls trialled really well, had a couple of nice soft trials. It's got some chance. And Swift Shadow, it had trialled really well and then did nothing first up, but Barrier 2 and around the corner, maybe it'll improve. I think 6 on top, very hard to beat. From 1, 2, chances to 4, 5, 11, 7. Race 8, smart one here in Berlinski. This is bolted in a trial. Looks like it's come back better than it was last year. Very smart horse, this. Douglas White goes on, probably guaranteed he'll start favourite. Could be short this, probably under the odds from a betting proposition, but it looks better than all of these. Aero Velocity, chased home a couple of smart ones last season. It's got a chance in a race like this. Barrier 11, no favours, of course, but it's got a chance on the trial. Big 4 was a nice run first up. No form at 1,200 metres. Had a couple of goes and didn't run it out. Might be a slightly stronger horse this season. Wouldn't rule it out completely as a chance. What You Dream, nice trial. Went to the line, beaten a length or so. Had plenty up its sleeve. Could be an interesting one. Same as Monte Costello. This one trialled really well too. But probably want to see it for one run. I think 6 wins Berlinski. Chances to 4, 5, 3, 8, and maybe 11 and 7 for the placings. Race 9, good quality field here. Some pretty smart ones. Mazzani high order horse was pretty impressive first up. Totally unsuitable distance, was doing its best work late. Went around the other morning, broke 22 for its last 400. It's cherry ripe. It's going to be very, very hard to beat at the mile now. I think it's the one to beat. Blazing Speed, probably go to the front. If they leave it alone, it's got some chance. Designs on Rome. Now, this was a nice piece of track work leading up to a really soft trial a couple of weeks ago, and its track work since has been good. Problem is it'll get a long way back, but it's got the ability, this horse, pretty smart. And the only other one that I think's got much hope is Flagship Shine. Goes good, fresh. The mile, that's the unknown quantity, never gone a mile. Most of its forms at 1400, but gives every indication it'll get it. Probably first up, I'd be probably happy to sit and watch it. It could run a place, but I don't think it'll win. I think Mazzani wins. Blazing Speed and maybe Designs on Rome, the best two to try and put a bit of pressure on it. After that, maybe Flagship 9, Fair Trade and Real Generous, possible ticky chances. We go to the last, again, another very smart one here, Sea Diamond. Was red hot in the trial, just pulled it up. Track work's been really good. Strawn barrier 1. Now it gets back a bit, but he has ridden it up on the speed a couple of times. This is a high order horse. 90% fit, it wins this. Noble Alpha. This was a terrific run first up. Reared at the start, lost a pile of ground, then found trouble, and then come flying home late. Runs up to that. It can run in the money. Galaxy Prancer got knocked out of the race at the start last first up. Got poleaxed, normally settles on the speed, had a good draw, got knocked over and was last and under the whip. They got it up onto the speed eventually, but did far too much work. Moss A goes on with it now, man. Hopefully this year he's not going to ride everything 3 wide, but it's got some chance. Military Secret, and this is an interesting one. They produced this one first up late last season, came from nowhere to win at a massive price. Had a nice easy trial. It's got some hope. And Deep Thinker and Able Friend look the best of the rest, but I think Sea Diamond's just a little bit too good for these, and I'd expect it to win. Like I said, towards the end of the card, there's some good horses. They're probably going to start short. There doesn't appear to be any value. There's no jackpot in the 6 up. I'm reluctant to be playing a 6 up when there's so many short price for favourites likely to win a lot of the legs. There's no value there. There's a possible chance we might play a parlay if a couple of these are sort of 3 to 1, 7 to 2. I don't mind rolling up a couple of those. But if we don't find that, then it looks like we might wait till next Wednesday for the double jackpot there on the all-weather track. Good luck on the weekend if you play. The Spring Attack will be playing in the Toorak and possibly a quaddie, but we'll finalise all that late tonight, tomorrow morning. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and good luck over the weekend and in the coming week.